Today, we talk about
the special guy.
Welcome back, folks. So, up next, the all too rare, all too desired, all too expensive nowadays Dinobot from the Takara Tomy exclusive C16 model. This was the update to the original Dinobot toy. However, it was one of several updates where the body was a little bit more true to form to the show, yet the color scheme was maintained. So this is up to date, probably the best Dinobot figure that exists. But as y'all know, the masterpiece figure is on its way, so I cannot wait to dig into that when I get a chance. But in the meantime, if you want to see my original review on Dinobot, I will have it pop up now. Okay, let's keep going. So, this came as so. It's got a little collector card. Again, it's unfortunate this was a Japanese exclusive only because, I love reading the boxes and the cards and all that stuff, and it's just unfortunate that you can't really do that with the Japanese exclusives, but it is what it is. With that said, though, can at least appreciate the artwork on the box, or on the card and the box. But if I can get it to focus, can kind of make out the nice details of the card and the beast mode Velociraptor on the other side. Some stats, and yeah, it's pretty cool. So I'm gonna slip this back in there, I don't want to lose it. Very few people had this available for sale when I was looking for it. I was fortunate enough that someone was selling it right after the announcement that the masterpiece figure for Dinobot was on its way. But since I knew I wanted to collect all the major forms, I knew this was a must cop. And so here it is. Oh my god, come on. So we're going to slip this back in there, slide that down, close that up. Bum, ba-da-dum, bum, bum. Here's the back of the box. Again, some more dope artwork. I can kind of make out the figure there if I can get the lighting to help me out here. As you can see, so that's pretty cool. And then here's the beast mode. So let's pull this guy out. Woo! It's got the instruction book right here wrapped up like a fruit roll-up. We'll pull this out. I doubt this is going to be helpful, but we'll give it a shot. See what we got here. This looks actually fairly simple. I'll give it a shot. I will give it a shot. Let's see what else we got here. Oh, cool. It's like a mini little comic book, which I can't read, so that's not going to be helpful at all. That's cool. Kind of give you a little sneak peek at what's in there. He's looking pretty jacked in this photo. At least that's in color. If you can kind of make that out. Hey, yo! Okay, so enough's enough. Let's get to the toy. Slip this back in there, but I gotta pull this guy out to get him out. He's all caged up. Man, I'm telling you, you're mixing robots, transformers, and dinosaurs. Perfect combination. One of the main reasons I got into Transformers, or Beast Wars I should say, was that very reason. Yeah, this is obviously not very accurate as far as his sword goes. Hello. There we go. But that's cool that, always nice to get a little change of scenery as far as these toys go. Get it to focus. Come on, man. Don't focus on my face. Okay, so enough of that. I'm going to pull this guy out, and we'll be back after these brief messages. And we're back. So here's the beast mode. Pretty well done, I gotta say. A lot of people will complain, oh, you can see all the robot, what do they call it? Not glitter. Kibble, robot kibble. Robot kibble everywhere. You can tell it's a robot. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, dude, it's a transformer and it's a toy, and it was made not too long ago. Like, we don't live in hologram world, or whatever the technology is going to be, where you have like smart putty or something that like can absolutely morph into something else. So for the technological, architectural, engineering feats that were required to design this, try and make your own transformer first and see if you can come up with something better than this. I thought this was very clever. First things first, they hide the tip of the tail here in the little gun piece of his tail so that it can fit in the box, and then when you open up the little ish, you can open these up and pull out the tail and then close it back up. So that was pretty cool. Although it's like a weird rubbery thing at the tip that's like a totally different, if I can get the focus, come on! It's like a totally different material and color than the rest of the tail. So it's a little bit off and it doesn't like perfectly shut. But again, minor details, and I'll barely have him in beast mode, so I can't complain. You got his little cute dinosaur arms. As you can see, his mouth opens and closes, and fairly more accurate to both Jurassic Park and the show, so that's cool. But of course, yeah, you can see his robot arms under there and some of the robot features down there. He's got the little velociraptor claw action going on. So, so far so good. But let's get him transformed. So first things first, let's pull off his tail. Right off. Boom. So we'll leave that aside for a second, and then we'll mess with his legs first. So what you want to do here is flip around the legs, flippity flap, leave S, and actually you're going to turn this around as well. This side, same thing, down, flippity flap, rotate, and that's going to be his legs. Pull these down, and then you're going to pull these down, pull out the teethy kneecap things as so, which are a very interesting detail to add here. But then you'll swing this around, or I'm sorry, swing this around this way. No, this way. Yeah, this way. Okay, and then snap it down into place and fold down like so. And then same thing on the other side. Down, pull out. Rotate around, snap down, fold down, voila. So there's that. So you got his legs pretty much ready to rumble. Then you are going to pull up on his arms a little bit, slide out the little side skirts. Then you are going to, what are we doing here? I think we just pull out the arms, yeah. Pull out the arms, slide out, slide out. Then we are going to pull the head down so the head will come clean down. Boom, revealing his robot head, which very much more true to form from the show compared to the original toy, which again, if you haven't seen my review, I've linked it if you want to check it out. Then another cool feature, if I can get this to sit, is the fact that then you snap the hips into place, pull the head down. They included this thing where you can flip his headpiece to reveal the Maximal logo, and then you can flip it again to reveal the Decepticon logo, since he originally started as a Decepticon and switched sides, but he never really even had that piece in the show, so I'm just going to leave it blank. Then the interesting thing is, you rotate the arms down and around as such. I like to just leave the arms hung back like that so they don't show, although they tell you to do it differently in the instructions, because you want to flip up these shoulder plates, I guess. But then that kind of just puts the arms in the way, so I kind of don't understand that, so I might just flip them back this way, actually. And apparently they're supposed to like rotate out, but I couldn't really get them to rotate out, and I'm really not all that interested. So instead of breaking the toy, I'm going to leave it as is. Now, with that said, we're left with this, which I would say you're pretty much done here, because his arms have the classic, you know, double clawed situation going on there. See, right now he's got his little claw hands. My God, can you focus, please? So annoying. Let me try this. There you go. And that was pretty much what his hands look like in the show. But in order to fit the, you know, the weaponry, you have to flip his arms around. So you have the option to flippity flap, stickity stock, and they leave these little indentations underneath for you to, you know, pull out some of his fist quality. Fist quality? What? You know, his fists. Yeah. So now for the weaponry. So now you pull all these out. A little sword hiding place, which can fire as a gun, but you know, I don't think this was ever used for that. This was more of just a rotating blade weapon. And this was the sword, but the sword doesn't look as accurate here. I'm sure they will correct that in the Masterpiece toy. But in any event, so we have that. We'll stick that here. Boom. And then for this is kind of odd and a little bit bulky, a little bit too big. It's a little bit too heavy for him, especially as he's now a little bit older and is already like getting a little loosey-goosey. But you fold this down and then you just kind of push it down, and now you get the dual rotating blades, which don't really rotate, but you know, it is what it is. And then all you got to do is just kind of like slip it into his hand and flip this out, flip that claw out, slip it in there. Get it. Yeah. And that's essentially it, I think. Did I get it? Yeah. Okay. So there you go. So now he's got his rotating blade. He's got his sword. Everything's in place. And that's essentially Dinobot. You know, it's as you can see, it's just like super loose. It won't like stand up, but you can kind of like lean it against the floor to kind of hold it in place. So yeah, overall, you know, I can't say I'm displeased with it, but let's just say I'm excited for the Masterpiece. Let's get going. But yeah, thanks for joining, and you know, we'll see you on the next one. We out. Peace.